by accident, right? You put the wrong code in and you came to us, and then we were like, no, we're keeping you. I'd now like to welcome our keynote speaker, Mr. Jay Morrison. He's also known as Mr. Real Estate. He's a real estate investor, realtor, TV personality, entrepreneur, social access, and CEO and founder of the Jay Morrison brand and the Jay Morrison Academy, an online real estate school and mentorship program.
Good afternoon. That was weak. Graduation ceremony. Good afternoon. All right, let's be in good spirits, celebratory. First and foremost, I want to thank you all, Principal Sharma, and the rest of the staff here at 47 for having me here. And I want to congratulate the students of this class of 2015 of the 47 community. I want to congratulate you guys and also the parents and guardians and the family of the graduates who have helped get them this far. I want to give all you guys a round of applause. I was invited here kind of last minute by a good friend of mine who's also from New Jersey, by the name of J.M. Benjamin, a published author, a success story, and he couldn't be here, but we were actually going to split the time as two keynote speakers. But he couldn't be here this morning, so I said, you know what, I'll hold it down. And I want to start you off with a quote from J.M. Benjamin, which says, education is the key to is the key to unlocking the doors to any and all opportunities in life. Education. And so I stand here before you from a different perspective of education, but very relevant in the education field. I have an online school. I teach real estate education and mentorship. But when I sat in that seat, and it's funny, when I graduated high school, I had a blue cap and a blue gown, same color as you all. And my family was crying also, and so excited that I was there, because a year prior to me graduating, in my junior year in high school, I dropped out of high school. I dropped out because of the abuse in my home. I dropped out because of the poverty in my home. And I dropped out because I felt that the streets was going to be my way out. I thought I was going to be a dope boy extraordinaire, the drug dealer of all drug dealers. And I thought that was going to be my path. And even while I was in high school, I did go back. I went to an alternative school. I went to summer school. I got my extra credits. I did graduate on time, but I sold drugs all through high school. And 4 months after I graduated, my family was so proud and smiling. I called them from the Tombs in downtown Manhattan and said, Mom, I just got locked up with a $1/4 kilo of coke and a loaded handgun, and I'm facing 3 years of life in prison at 18 years old, 4 months after I had my cap and gown on. Because you see, I grew up and I was abiding by a different education. See, if you want to be in the streets, you want to be a drug dealer, you get a drug dealer's education, you get a street education. And that's why I abided by it. And so when I went to jail in upstate New York, and through Rikers Island, C-74, Mod 3 upload, I didn't change what I wanted my education to be, who I wanted to be. My mind never changed. So while I was in jail, I didn't read about how I could transform my life, or how I could become an engineer, be a doctor, or get a job, be an entrepreneur. I soaked up all the education game around me of how to be a better drug dealer when I get home. So while upstate, I'm finding out what cars to use, and how to transport it, how to cook up, and how to bag up. At 18 years old, and how to sell drugs better. And I went home as a drug dealer, doing a year in prison in New York. I came here in Harlem to a work release program, came home, took 2 months off to enjoy family and food and all those freedom things that you get, and went right back to selling drugs again. And I had some success in the drug game. I mean, I was 19, I had a car, fresh off the lot, paid cash. It's like 50 Cent in the movie Get Rich or Die Trying. I came to the car lot, dumped a double bag full of money on the table, and pulled off the car lot with my vehicle with no license plate, no insurance, no driver's license. And I thought that, I was the man. You couldn't tell me nothing. Until at 20 years old, I found myself calling home again from Maryland prison for drug trafficking, this time facing 15 years in prison and on my second felony. And then I bailed out from that and kept selling drugs. And caught another charge in New Jersey and bailed out from that. To where I was on parole in New York. I was on parole in New York, on bail in Maryland, and in bail in New Jersey fighting 2 charges. About to throw my life away. And so I was served 18 months in New York after going through the system, in Maryland, after going through the system in Maryland. And guess what, in Maryland, my mind didn't shift. I said, you know what, I think I got to figure it out now. If I get all the gain from all these drug dealers, all these jails I've been through, I can come home and finally get it right. I never expanded my mind to any other kind of education or opportunity for myself, or door of success for myself, other than the streets. And so I came home at 21 years old. I spent 3 or 4 more years selling drugs, trying to figure it out. Trying to be the smartest drug dealer you know. Until one day at 25 years old, after learning real estate while I was on parole, understanding how to do mortgages, how to buy a house, how to fix credit, how to get secured credit cards, and I found out that real estate is not that hard. And so I made $6 grand in about a month, legally. And I was like, wow, it's not bad. You can actually make money outside of selling drugs. What? I never knew this. And so at 25 years old, while standing on the block in Newark, New Jersey, on the street on the corner at 5:30 in the morning, I had some blood guys hustling for me, right? Some gangbangers. And so I'm giving them all my work, and I'm watching them to carry their guns. They got the red flags hanging and dreads swinging, and they wouldn't use any words that started with a C. So instead of saying circle, they said Berkeley. And that's when I woke up. I said, my core group of people that I surround myself with say Berkeley instead of circle. I might want to rethink the street thing. And so at 25 years old, 3 felonies in, 2.5 years in prison in, on a street corner in Newark, New Jersey, I still had 4 ounces of coke left, I still had guns, I still was in the streets, I still had my drug phone and my family phone. That day at 5:30 in the morning, I asked myself, Jay, where are you going to be when you're 30? And you know, I pictured 2 things. You know what they were? You know what they were? Jail or dead. Dead or jail. As we all know how it goes. But I said, you know what? I'm smart though. I learned my lessons. I figured this out. I know how to maneuver under the radar. My car has a secret compartment in it. I got a house over here for my drugs. I got a phone for my workers. It's going to work out. So I try to reimagine where I'm going to be when I'm 30. And all I could picture was me on the ground, my head bleeding, or me behind bars with a tan suit on. I still only could picture dead or in jail. And since I couldn't picture a different picture for myself, that day, that exact day in Newark, New Jersey, I threw away my phone, I smashed it on the ground, I gave the rest of my drugs to my partner and said, you know what, I'm done. I'm going to try the real estate thing full time. And so I gave up cold turkey, went into real estate. Having only made $6 grand in the past, I knew there was some potential there. If I would educate myself and take the time to understand how real estate actually works. See, all the time that I put into my education was into how the streets work, how drug operations work. But when I put the effort and time in over a year of how real estate works, I would buy my first house at 25, and got 3 houses at 26, and then 6 houses by 27, and made my first $1 million in real estate legally by 28 years old. Understand this. And all it was applying the same hustle, the same ambition, the same dedication, the same training that I had in the streets. I just applied that to the new education that I got in the real estate world. And so when you see me here today, and I can boast or tout, and first of all, I give God grace and give God credit for His grace and mercy in my life. It's the only reason I'm here. It's not what I did.